Hey everybody, on today's video, you're going to see me trying to understand the fuel pump. Okay, the fuel pump that I decided to use was the one that kind of worked the best, and yeah, it looked like it was used the most recently and etc. But I was not seeing any fuel getting pumped into here when I had the fuel line connected to here, which says in, right? And it's right beside this fuel bowl, and there's also a small little filter inside it, right? And then there's this over here, which doesn't really say out, right? But I kind of think that's where everything was connected to before, but I can't remember. But yeah, I talked to some people on the forum about it, about like where to connect the hoses and stuff, and I said, well, shouldn't I connect it to here and then have the out, go over here? And they said, yeah, well, and then I also described like vacuum hoses and stuff like that and where vacuum hoses go, and they said, yeah, that all sounds right. But yeah, I was just wondering why I didn't get any fuel being pumped into the fuel pump when I had it arranged like that. Somebody told me that the fuel pump can still operate and pump fuel even when the bowl is completely empty and completely dry, or completely full, or somewhere in between. But what I did is I checked underneath and I looked at the cork gasket that's in there, and it looked healthy. It looked good, like it was doing its job. And yeah, so I didn't really know if that was the reason why I wasn't pumping. But I even took off the hose off of this part right here, and looked inside the end of the hose, and it was like dry. Like there wasn't any gas even being pumped into there. And so what I had done is I had put the fuel line here, and then this was leading out to the carburetor. And then I had a vacuum line for the wipers here, and also a vacuum for the intake manifolds right here, right? And on this other fuel pump that I have, it says in, and then there's the fuel pump or fuel bowl and a little filter inside it, and then there's the out. But here at the bottom it says wiper, and then here it says man for manifolds. So I kind of think that both of these pumps are similar. I think that the configuration is pretty similar, etc. But yeah, I was just about to switch the fuel pump and put this one on, because maybe this one wasn't working. But what I decided to do is I decided to say, hey, you know what? Let's put the fuel line right here and see what happens. Because over here it just says in. That's all it says, and it doesn't say anything on the other side, right? It doesn't say anything, no markings or anything. But yeah, so I don't know what that means. But anyways, but yeah, so what I was doing is I had connected the fuel line here, and I was pumping it, manually with my body weight, and using the leverage like this, and you could hear the difference in sound and tone with the pumping as I was pumping it, and it was pumping up the fuel into the pump, and then it spewed all the way out of this back piece right here, like all over to the ground, and probably a little bit on me, right? And then I kind of held it up a little bit more, and then that's when it was squirting out of here. So it was going in here and squirting out here, but I don't know why it wouldn't, why it wouldn't work that way. But anyways, I'm gonna try and move a few things around here for you so you can see the action. I'm gonna do it again. You're gonna see, or at least I hope you will. That sounds like a good idea right there. Prop up the camera with a whole bunch of tools. All right, here we go. Or maybe what I could do is I could move the camera over here. the camera over here for you, so you can see. Alright. Yeah. So, I wonder what would happen if I switched it and put the fuel line up where it was before. I wonder what would happen. Oh. Yeah. It looks like it's supposed to go in that way and then out that way. But I don't know why it would be all set up here. I don't know why that would be all up here. Do you think maybe it's supposed to come in from here and then out here and then go back around here and then go back up to the carb this way? But I think there's supposed to be a vacuum on the fuel pump. Alright. Alright, everybody. So this is the vacuum setup that I had before. Alright. So I had the fuel pump, right? And I had the wiper on the bottom of the fuel pump. And then I had this tube, which goes all the way up to the manifold. I had that set up. So there was, I think this one was for the wiper, and then this one was for the manifold, and then this was the fuel inline, and then this was the outline to the carburetor through this pipe right here. And it had a little hose and stuff like that over there, right? And then there was another vacuum line coming from the distributor going into the carburetor. So, yeah, I don't get it. Again, that's okay. I'll talk to some people in the forum and see what they say. Yeah, you guys all saw my video that I did the other day about, like yesterday, about finding top dead center and all that stuff. Yeah, I think I'll double check it just to make sure. I'm also going to take the valve cover off and make sure that the valves are closed. I mean, I don't really think that I was wrong when I had that piece of tape there and it puffed out when I was, you know, turning the balancer. You know, that's like a pretty good sign that it's on a compression stroke. But anyways, all right. Okay, everybody, 1958 AMC Rambler Super part 63. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.